not that I didn't have a good night either way, but I had one of the trades I was waiting for it to drop, and I was chopping and chopping and chopping, and I got impatient because I was working on something, and I ended up putting a trail there. I was like, to hell with it, I'm just gonna trail a little tighter, take my money, and it did what it loves to do, where it tapped it and then freaking dropped like 80 points. I'm like, get out of here. Like, I love when it does that. But, and that's the psychological side of trading. That's just a reality, guys, is that, you can't just think of everything like just charts and numbers and PA and the perfect strategies and this, and because it's just not that simple, the there everything that the market does is with intent, right? And so, you know, creating chop zone or boredom is a thing that they do purposefully because people get bored, right? So, like, I mean, honestly, I wasn't we were talking, so we didn't really do much of the trading this morning, but I mean, shoot, this is some amazing look at double top, pulled down, double bottom, pulled up, right, until head and shoulders, pulled down. We probably could have got some trades here, guys. So I don't know if you guys did, but I didn't. So, um, but yeah, it's looking very, very bearish. I will not flip my script of being very bearish unless we get above these levels with some volume, right? Like here, really. Anything short of that, we can come all the way to here, and I'm gonna be looking for a short to ride it all the way back down. So, but if this floor breaks out right here, I mean, it's 600 is the next stop, and if that breaks, like it's gonna just be a train reaction of nasty today. So we'll see. Um, I'm just gonna start my TikTok and stuff just so I can get all this stuff going. That would be good. Yeah, it would be good. Okay, let's open this thing up so I can just focus on we can see what we got going on. Do-do-do-do. I know it's gonna crush people's soul when I tell them this, but apparently the way we have our site set up, it's not quite as easy as I thought it would be to give people a free trial. So we might have to ditch the free trial idea, unfortunately. But I think the price is fair enough that for $50, I mean, I'd imagine people will be willing to do that. But again, it goes back to where I think of things in my mind of how, oh, this is easy, we can do this, and then Alex is like, yeah, it's not as easy as I thought. So he was going through trying to push it, and then he's like, if I do this and that, there's a chance this is gonna break everything. And I was like, no, like we're not breaking everything for that. No, nope. I was like, we're just gonna have to ditch that plan. So we'll see. But good morning, guys. I'll let people pile in here. It'd be a great day.
Did you take a look at those devices?
I briefly looked at it, but I was so busy adding everything for that. But I did kind of briefly look at that and other stuff it had, which is cool. And I'm definitely going to go down that route at some point for sure. So I appreciate you sending that because it's definitely a pain in the butt. And I knew there's a better way. We just have so much going on that I haven't really looked. You said Mr. Anderson. Oh, Cody, you cracked me up. All right. Let me load a couple. I think I gotta load two more things here, guys. Do we have news? No, we looked yesterday. We don't have news. That's good. I don't think there was news till like the 21st or something, wasn't it? No, guys. Mm. I want to make sure I'm not messing up because I have a couple accounts already done, ready for payout, so I don't want to trade the wrong one. Um, I got a few minutes. Mhm.
Yeah. If it has a Neo ends up having a memory that can cross the barrier, and I ask about XRP, and it would say something like, "You must know coding. What did you do? Go to the computer together?"
Right. Oh, dude, that would be cool if you could like link friends or something. Be like, look,
Yeah,
you just asked me the same stupid question. Dude, that could how funny would that be if you could like link a buddy? Like you have like a social group of Neo.
that'd
I'm
be
not
so
claiming any of y'all. No.
He's,
fun, Hoodie.
that's funny. He's like, I will not be tied to any of your questions that so you mess up my Neo. All right. Okay, I think I'm mostly set up. I see some people coming in. Um, Paul, I'm not gonna put the chat up. I'll leave that to you. If you could bring that up to Alex when you see him about the button clicking, spamming, and it locking up, um, kind of thing. Guys, welcome coming in here. I'll get started on some TA here in a second. Just a quick announcement. Neo on TradeVision is live. As you guys can see, we are no longer in beta. I had Alex add a little green head to it because I think it's easier to identify, right, where the key points that you want to be on the website are, right? And so, you know, having that there is also, to me, it's easier to find them on the phone. So when you're on the mobile version, right, and you're way in like this, and you just see the icons, it just makes it easier for me. So, which I would, in return, think it'd be easier for y'all. So I'm gonna refresh this because we are now in the open session. Our mentor session is going. We just finished up that. I'm gonna start up Neo here, guys. TradeVision is live.
It's great to see you again, Nick. MNQ is currently
Thanks,
testing that
buddy.
support zone at 28,857.81, and with sell pressure picking up, we really need to see if this floor holds or if we get a breakdown. Given the bearish angle across all key timeframes and price sitting below the VWAP at 28,989.25, the path of least resistance is looking downward right now. I'd be very cautious about trying to catch a bounce here until we see a confirmed reclaim of support or a reversal in the 1-minute Lisma. Are you seeing any signs of stabilization, or does it look like we're heading for a test of the lower range?
So again, he is live, guys. We do have a lot of things that we added in there. You have the personalities, the responses, all the stuff are all loaded in there. We do have a volume control that we added. You can see on there, so you can turn him up or down as needed, and you can mute him. Right. You can search for your symbols from there. You just click on it, your symbol area. If you scroll down, right, you'll see that, we always have the plan stuff in there. So you can upgrade, if you want to try it out on basic first, you could always upgrade later. And then as you scroll down, guys, we have a list of all of these symbols and pairs of crypto that we support. So we can ask him about anything within this list, right? That associates with the plan that you're on, right? And then you have the stocks are within there. We have quite a bit of them in there. We took a bunch of special requests from the mentor group, and so added those in. And crypto list is long, guys. We just kind of pulled the top 100 market cap cryptos, and so he does have all that capability, guys. So he is live. If you guys want to go in and subscribe, you guys can do so. When you go into the website at the nextstepalgo.com, all you do is you click on the TradeVision Neo AI, and when you click on it, you can just choose your plan, guys. The lowest plan that we have two tiers. It's basic and pro. The basic is $50. So with the coupon right now, we have a special that we're doing. It's $100, but we're doing $50 until I think June 1st. And so if you guys want to come in and play with Neo, right, you guys can do that. So again, $50, right, to come in and play with them. So with unlimited usage, on him. So you can talk to him as much as you want. So kind of play with that as we go through if you guys want to do it. Yeah, he's fully live for you guys. So I'm gonna go as of right now where I'm looking at MNQ. That's typically which we trade in the mornings. I'm gonna keep his responses to normal. Detailed is great if you want to really get the deep dive. Sometimes it goes a little long, right? So we'll keep it at normal for now. I'm gonna keep him on friendly for right now, just so we can kind of get in and get some TA and try to see if we can get some trades, right? Towards the end of the time, maybe we'll flip him over to sarcastic or something and see if we can have some fun with it. So, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it, guys. And Neo is live, so you guys can jump in and chat away with him. So I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. I don't want to go too much, but I know it's harder on the phones sometimes to see this stuff. So let's jump into the charts, guys, because we got market open coming in 10 minutes. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to give a little bit of my thoughts, and then we are going to ask Neo, right, his thoughts at times. And so when you look at the chart, guys, talked about it yesterday, we are starting to top out, right? Whether this is going to play out or not, we're really close to finding out, right? But the plan of staying short from that trend structure break and the trend hold below has worked out pretty well. So plan doesn't really change, right? You don't want to go long right at a trend break. I mean, we still can come up, guys. We can come all the way up to 29.2 if we wanted to at market open or throughout. But there's a decent chance that either today or tomorrow or definitely at some point this week, right, that we're going to break this structure and likely begin a descent, right, somewhere down to this area here. So the only thing that I would see that would inverse that or change that my theory on that would be if we begin to hammer a lot in here, we get a decent close above and we can break this structure. If we can reclaim 29.248, then we're gonna go up for a really big move. So my theory, I told the mentor group, I think we talked about it Sunday, was I think there's a lot of hype, the AI, the news, the potentials of things that the potential of things going on in the Middle East, right? And although it seems like it might be not terrible news, right? But a lot of times it ends up like a buy the rumor, sell the news. So the fact of the matter is, guys, we are in an absolute vertical ascent, right? And at some point we got to pull back a little bit. So but let's see what market open wants to bring within this, guys. My plan, I'm okay with taking longs at times if we're going to oscillate and do things that warrant a long, but I'm not doing any long holds or plays with longs. Everything will be short scalp. So, which I would recommend. Even if you're taking shorts, short scalps are going to be probably better. We could definitely have a deep draw, after open or at open even. But if you notice, every time we get a deep draw or drop, right, it's getting a pretty decent bounce within. So, but we can ask Neo. Let's see where he thinks. Hey, Neo, we're about to get into market open. What should I be looking for? Are we looking more bearish or bullish? Muted. Don't stump me now.
With the U.S. market open approaching, the structure remains decidedly bearish, Nick. We are currently trading at 28,848.50, well below the VWAP and all key Lisma levels, which suggests that sellers remain in control of the immediate trend. As we head into the open, watch for whether price can reclaim the 1-minute Lisma at 28,888.00 or if it continues to face rejection under that 28,878.25 trend line. I'd be very careful with any long bias unless we see a clear, sustained breakout and hold above those levels, as the current momentum is firmly tilted toward the downside.
That sounds good. If we market open and we swing south, what's a order block or some kind of support I could look for a potential bounce?
If we see a push lower at the open, Keep a close watch on the 1-hour bullish order block zone located between 27,614.25 and 27,747.25. While that's quite a bit lower, it remains our most significant structural zone of support that has been previously tested. In the shorter term, since there isn't a fresh, active bullish order block nearby, I'd pay close attention to how price reacts if it approaches the prior day low of 28,814.25. If price sweeps that level and fails to hold, we'd look for signs of a reclaim or a shift in the 1-minute Lisma to suggest a potential bounce. Does that level help you visualize where you might look for a reaction, or were you hoping for something closer to current price?
And so, guys, you can see the levels he just put out is basically what we just talked about, right? Is that there's a good chance that we can kind of come down in here. If we hit this, we might get a little spring. If we break through there, right down, then this level is our next level. So he's going to identify those things so we can kind of build our plan even with Neo, right? Now, those levels look good. So if market opens here in a few minutes and we do get a push up, where would the order block be that's bearish that I would look for a possible rejection to take the trade on trend?
If the market opens and pushes upward, look for a rejection at the 5 minutes bearish order block, which spans from 28,901.50 to 28,926.00. That zone is currently our most immediate area of interest for a potential trend-aligned short, as it sits well below the VWAP at 28,984.50. Remember to wait for clear confirmation, like a failed push through that block followed by a structural shift back to the downside, before committing to the trade. Would you be comfortable scaling into a position at that level, or do you prefer waiting for a deeper confirmed rejection?
I think I'm going to let market open and wait for the first 15 minutes just to see where this goes, to see if we're going to get a deep pull or the push. Thanks for the advice.
That's a smart, disciplined approach, Nick. Waiting for that first 15 minutes lets the initial volatility settle and gives you a much better read on the actual intent behind the move. Patience is often the biggest edge a trader can have, especially when the market is showing as much bearish pressure as it is right now. I'll be here whenever you're ready to look at how that opening action resolves. Good luck, and let's see how it plays out.
So it's funny, guys, like, the beauty of Neo, many of you guys have experienced that have tested him, is that don't be shy of asking him questions, guys. He's not just going to tell you trade setups, right? He can help you with a plan, market open. Just you gotta just talk to him, right? Let him know what you're about to see, what you're doing, what you're thinking, all that. And so, but he's gonna be able to help you build your plan, look for things. Um, his thought on market open's not a terrible one, right? It's kind of what I would advise you as well, right? That we're likely, if we market open and we swing up here and we can't break through all of these resistance areas, then we're likely going to drop, right? If we market open, we push through here, we breach wick, close above, it's likely going to push through. This will be our next level, right? And so if we do end up breaching below here, guys, there's just really nothing on this chart. Look at literally nothing. So we're at the bottom of like every moving average, right? So going long right now is just crazy, right? Unless you break above certain things. And so um, we are now getting finally into an area where we can actually rely on other stuff. See, look on my 5 minute, I still don't really have much, right? So the only thing I really have is some order block stuff on my indicator here, mixed with some, support and resistance lines that I have from the 1 hour. So from a trap perspective, we did trap and go down. We do have the 618 right there. That's probably the only thing that is is available. So let's just see. Let's see how market open treats this, guys. I'm gonna kind of guide out some things. As I see them. At times, I'm gonna ask Neo just to give us his advice, just to kind of show you guys as well. So, if you guys want your own Neo Trade Vision, you can go in. He is live. So just go to nextstepalgo.com and click on it and subscribe. So, but let's see where we go, guys. We got 30 seconds. But definitely watch your volume today, guys. The swings have been really wide. We've been getting $1 to $200 moves like nothing. So, I gotta put a little background noise on. Any questions, guys? You got 3 seconds to ask it. All right. Little market open push. So let's see, like he said, we want to watch for that market open push to see if we get that rejection off that 900 is what he was looking for. See if we get that rejection. Well, ended up taking a pretty good rejection right off it. Let's see if it holds. Nope, little rear back. So we're getting a lot of steam, guys, so be careful. So let's see how this pushes. We're getting a good breach wick close above there. This should get up to there. If it doesn't get up to there and we end up losing that back, right, then it's just a clear open push. So, but let's wait and see. You guys know market open loves to do fake outs, right? So for it to do a quick little push and follow it up, right? Not surprise me. Let's just see where our DOM is and our momentum. Did burst past, right? So this is going to be the big one here. If we stay above this area here, right, we're going to have another burst north. So let's see. It's testing that prior high. Getting a clean push. Let's see if we get it past the 945. So we got some momentum, but we're hitting that 945, guys. So this is where it's a moment of truth. We're either going to break through this or we're going to get a deep pull from it. So just be careful chasing stuff here, guys. Coming up into the ceiling area. This is going to be a big one for me. So we're very, very bullish on the push. Right here is where if this can pull back for a retest there, then we're going to get a decent pull. If we do explode through here, guys, this is going to be a very bullish day, actually. Let's see how we pivot. Getting a little rejection. Nothing crazy. Ask him. Hey, Neo, I see that we got the push. Are you seeing any kind of bearishness at all, or do you expect a possible rejection here? What should I look for?
It's been quite a move since the open, Nick. We're currently sitting at 28,955.69, right inside that 1-hour bullish order block, but we are still trading below the 5 minutes EMA 200 at 28,979.50 and the VWAP at 28,978.25. That convergence of resistance just overhead is a classic spot where we could see a rejection. I'd watch closely to see if price fails to reclaim the 5 minutes EMA 200. If we see a stall there and a shift back down, it would signal that the bulls are exhausted and we might be looking at a
You're
pullback.
getting that rejection here.
Are you seeing any topping patterns on your 1-minute chart, or does the buy pressure still feel strong to you?
Can you tell me the buy pressure that you see?
Right now, the volume data is showing strong buy pressure, with a buy fraction of 85.15% and a relative volume of 3.06. In trader terms, this high buy fraction confirms that there is significant momentum behind this current push, which explains why we are testing that 1-hour bullish order block. Just keep in mind that even with high buy pressure, we are still bumping into resistance at the 5 minutes EMA 200, so it's important to watch for exhaustion before assuming the trend has fully shifted.
Gotta revise his Emma. That's funny. So we're getting that pull, guys. So remember we talked about before on the 15-second, we usually get this breach wick and then we get that rear back. If that rear back stays above 944 and it jumps again, it's going to jump hard. If we end up crashing below that 944, right, it's going to typically give a little bit of a pull. So let's just wait and see. Watch the DOM and the buy pressure. If I were to look for a short here soon on this pull, where is my target?
If you're looking for a short entry here, your primary target would be a retest of the recent support area near the 15 minutes bullish order block, which starts around 28,879.50. You should also keep an eye on the 1-minute Lisma at 28,888.75, as price often finds temporary support or resistance there during a pullback. Remember, since the buy pressure is still high at 74.25%, a short trade here is counter-trend. Make sure you see a clear failure to break higher or rejection at this current level before jumping in. Are you planning to use a tight stop loss above the local high?
Yeah, I've been taking little short scalps so far off of that rejection from the 1-hour Lisma.
That's a solid, disciplined play, Nick. Taking a scalp off that 1-hour Lisma rejection shows you're paying attention to those higher timeframe boundaries. Since we are still pushing against the intraday momentum, remember to secure your gains or move your stop loss to break.
I'm gonna mute him for a second. So this is what I was talking about, right? So I took a few scalps just kind of from the rejection momentum here, but we ended up with a hammer right off that prior high. That's what I was telling you to watch for, right? And so see that hammer? Once you get that hammer within there, right off that prior high, it ends up pushing, and then that gives you the momentum, right, to push forward. So as of right now, guys, we are pushing pretty good. So I'm out of all my stuff. I'm just again, I'm taking little scalps. I don't like how quickly that reclaimed within that. For me to want to stay more short on a bias, I would need this to come back and reclaim back below that, or I need it to get way up here and chase the liquidity at the EU high, right? Somewhere around there. So yeah, I'm out of all my trades. I made some good money on it, but I noticed that we broke through it. What's my next level of resistance I should be looking for? I don't really feel comfortable taking the long, so I'm kind of looking for short setups. Oh, I haven't
How
muted.
you protect your edge. Since you are looking for short setups, your next major area of interest is the 5 minutes bearish order block starting at 29,084.25 and extending up to 29,117.50. Given the strong buy pressure at 81.49%, I would be very patient and wait for a clear rejection or a structural failure to show up within that zone before jumping into a new short. Do you have a specific indicator you use to confirm that rejection, or do you wait for a specific price action pattern at those resistance levels?
I actually like to trade a lot of candle structure based off of the micro, the 15-second. And so I'm looking at a potential absorption to the south there. So I want to see if I get a red candle to give me a little retest back.
That makes total sense, Nick. Using the 15 seconds chart for that micro level timing is a great way to catch those absorption moves where momentum starts to stall after a push. If you are seeing that potential absorption, definitely wait for that red candle to confirm the shift. A quick retest of the recent 1-minute level or the current VWAP at 28,978.75 could be exactly the setup you need. Just keep that stop loss tight, as the overall buy pressure of 81.49% is still quite powerful and could fuel a quick re-break to the upside. Do you find that you have better success catching these reversals right at the level, or do you prefer to wait for the first candle close to confirm the move?
Typically, I like to break certain things. My only concern is that I played a little scalp on the way back here from that break, and so I'm getting some pretty decent scalps, but we're getting buy pressure on areas that we really shouldn't be getting buy pressure, right? So it's showing it might be a little stronger than I thought. So I might want to wait till we get a structural break below or push a little higher before I jump back in. I'm giving y'all kind of cues as I'm talking to them.
That's a very sharp observation, Nick. Recognizing that the price is showing strength in areas where you expected a stall is exactly what keeps a disciplined trader out of trouble. Since we are currently showing overbought status and sitting just beneath that 5 minutes bearish order block at 29,084.25, waiting for that structural break or a push into that resistance is definitely the right move. Rushing into a short when buy pressure is at 89.22% can be painful, so letting the market reveal its next level of intent is a great way to stay safe. Do you have a specific tell or candle pattern you look for on the 1 minute to confirm that the bears have finally regained control?
A lot of times I like to look for either like a hammer or absorption, something on the micro that is going to support a potential move on the 1 minute.
Using a hammer or absorption pattern on the 15 seconds to confirm a 1 minute setup is exactly how you keep your risk tight. By waiting for that wick rejection or volume stall, you're letting the market prove that buyers are exhausted before you enter the short. Right now, We are testing the US session high at 29,068.00. So keep a very close eye on that 5 minutes bearish order block that starts.
This is the big one, guys. Be careful. So I've been taking a little bit of scalps here because, guys, this 77 is pretty staunch, right? And so we are now double top. So you guys can see we're starting to break down within that. And so that's what I was kind of hinting towards, right? So I'm going to kind of do a mixture of like talking to you guys and then kind of talking to him, and you guys can, most of you already have your own Neo TradeVision anyway. So, but a lot of times what ends up happening, you guys know, on these market moves, right, is we get these deep pushes. What I was looking at here is when we had the market open push, we came back, we held this high, right? Pushed it into an absorption, got a close above, that typically moves. That is almost always going to come back and retest this prior high. And so that's where we're at. If we retest this prior high and we breach and we lose that, right, it's going to come down, right? We're going to come back down for that retest in that. So you want to kind of be careful taking any longs in there. The way that the market works typically, as most of you guys know, is it likes the market open one way, and then it likes to kind of trap those traders. We saw that yesterday, right? And market open, push, and then we just dumped, right? So anybody, if you guys want to put a thumbs up in the chat there, anybody taking kind of some of these shorts within that? How are you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Good deal. But yeah, see the fake out that we talked about in the pre-market? So I did pretty good on that. So I'm at 3,400 now, my Lucid, and I'm at 4,600 on my funded. So, and those are both payable. So I'm gonna sit out for a second. I don't like this right now, so just let's sit for a second because it's a moment of truth area, right? Let's break it down the structure. So we have a deep push, we have a half pull. We don't know where this is gonna go yet. That half pull is just the medium. We could easily spring again, right? Or we can lose that half pull. So for me to continue to take shorts, I need to get back below in this area here, right? Likely below this 5 minute Lisma here. Then I'll ride that sucker down. Anything short of that, guys, we run a risk of bouncing. We do have a gap filled down here. Again, I'm still more bearish overall, but we did get a nice little liquidity sweep north, right? That did kind of catch that. So let's see. Going to see how this is working. Let's see. Do you notice a shift in the buy pressure? It seems like we're getting a lot more sell pressure now. What can you tell me about that? And does that support my bearish thesis? And if it does, where should I be looking to go short? Oh, he's muted.
Clear. We've dropped from over 80% buy pressure down to just 13.21% in a very short window, which strongly supports your bearish thesis as the sellers have clearly taken the lead. Since price has pushed back times into times that 5 minutes bearish order block, 28,936.25 to 29,068.00, and is now trading below the VWAP, you have the structural confluence you were looking for. If you're looking for a short entry, watch for a clean rejection or a failure to reclaim the 1 minute Lisma at 28,921.25 as your trigger. Your next logical target would be a test of the 15 minutes bullish order block at 28,802.25. How does that trade setup feel to you compared to the scalps you were taking earlier?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous as we come into the 1 minute Lisma and the 200 EMA. So I don't know that I want to take a short unless we get a bounce here and then I'll ride it back down, or I want to get a break below that 5 minute Lisma. If I get a break with a close below, that could be a pretty decent setup, you think?
That is a very disciplined way to look at it, Nick. Waiting for a clean break and close below the 5 minutes Lisma at 28,877.75 effectively filters out the noise and confirms that the bears have taken back control of the structural momentum. Entering on a confirmed breakdown gives you much higher confidence than trying to guess a reversal, especially when you have the EMA 200 acting as a floor nearby. If that 5 minutes Lisma gives way, you have a much clearer path to the downside. Does that trigger align well with your standard risk management rules for these types of breakdown trades?
It does. I don't feel comfortable shorting into things like the 200 EMA, so I got to either wait for a push up and then short it back down, or you could take the long scalp, but I'm not sure I feel comfortable going long right now. So I'd rather just be patient.
That's the hallmark of a seasoned trader, Nick. Choosing to stay on the sidelines because the setup doesn't align with your comfort zone is often the most profitable trade you can make. You're waiting for clarity, either a retest of resistance for a trend aligned short or a clean structural break, rather than forcing a trade against the 200 EMA. That level of patience will keep your capital safe while you wait for the market to hand you a high probability opportunity. Are you going to keep a close eye on the 5 minutes bearish OB for that push-up, or are you just going to set an alert and step away from the screen for a bit?
No, I don't like to step away. I want to watch the screen, so I don't plan to step away during this session.
I hear you. There's no substitute for watching the flow and seeing how price actually interacts with those levels in real time. Staying locked in helps you spot those micro-absorption patterns you like to trade, which you'd definitely miss if you stepped away. Right now, price is oscillating within that 5 minutes bearish order block, so keeping an eye on how it behaves around 28,936.25 is key. If you see the volume stay heavy on the sell side and price fails to reclaim the 1 minute Lisma, it might give you the confirmation you're waiting for. Are you currently seeing any specific signs of that absorption on the 15 seconds chart, or is it still looking a bit too indecisive?
Man, he's back, Brent. I give confirmed signals daily. Man, shoot, I can confirm a signal too. Guess what? The price has confirmed this, and this is where it's going.
I can confirm that no one's listening to your comment.
People crack me up, bro. Like the sad part is people do that because people fall for it, right? Like that's the part that's not funny, right? It's only done because people actually fall for it. See how we're getting the breakdown, guys, from there. Again, the sell pressure is coming in, right? We're gonna come test that lower ORB area, but be really careful because we do have the 5 minute Lisbon. That thing is pretty staunch. So now we're running into a similar situation, guys, and I want to see if this plays out because remember we ran into this yesterday where we had a similar kind of push and structure, and then as it broke down, right, we were talking about if it stays below this neckline here, this typically is going to create a lower low, right? So I really want to see, are they going to kind of act like yesterday, or are we going to explode through, right, in a trap? So I'm out of trades right now. Oh, my Lucid, I just passed this was actually I got to give a shout out to you, John, because this is my Lucid that you told me about the deals. So I passed it last night. It's at 36.67. So I'm gonna try to get it to 41, and then that'll be a guaranteed payout from my Lucid. So I really don't even need to trade it because I forget I got to do 150 a day. And so I'm gonna sit out for just a second. My funded my builder, guys, I did 46.86 on it, and so I can take my my withdrawal from that today, tonight when it closes. And then I have a rapid that I've been working on. It was my first one that I have back, and I'm at 47.76. So I have 27.76 that I can withdraw on that one also tonight. So I don't know that I want to, I don't really need to push right now, right? And so but I want to wait and see what this does, because remember what we talked about, right? If we can push, think about this, right, from the breakdown. We had that breakdown. Now we're at that halfway mark. If this rejects back down and we get any kind of haul below this halfway, which would be about here, it's going to give a lower low. If this rear back holds support around 30, maybe 25, it's going to rear up, right? And it's trying to do that right now. So that's why I'm sitting out. Guys, I'm not really taking a lot of longs. I'm just not comfortable being long while we're underneath a lot of things like, we have a lot of resistance up in here. We have we're in a downtrend, right? We've broken our actual macro uptrend that we've held for the last like 3 to 4 weeks, right? So that doesn't really scream, hey, go long for me. So, and we're just getting so many good, pulls, right? So let's see if we get a decent pull from this one. My dog's already coming up to me like, pet me. You go lay down. Goes on YouTube. I don't have a background, so you guys probably see my lazy doodles in the background. But let's see if we get the full breakdown here, guys. I took that short on my Lucid 2NQ, so I'm actually at 42. So you can see 42.08. So I think I might be done with that one, but we'll see. I like to capitalize on the end of day, but I don't like to mess up guaranteed money either. So I took a little bit on the rapid, and so I'm at 48.87 now. But let's just see. Again, I'm scalping, guys. I'm not doing long-term setups. I'm looking for momentum rejections, right? So something that I teach in the development program and heavily in the mentor program is how to look for using Heikin-Ashi wicks through moving averages on the micro to determine that failure, right? And the market tends to do it pretty often, and it likes to do these little halfway moves, right? Where we get a deep push, we get a little halfway equity clear, and then it'll either push up with that rear back or it will collapse, right? And so one of the type of trading that I've taught is to do quick little scalps, right? To scalp those little rear back moves or the expansions. I'm not doing the expansions today because I don't really trust it. Where we're at, I think there's a lot more room to go down. So a lot more room to go down. But how's everybody doing? You guys all green? Let's take a pause. Anybody in a trade?
I just got here. I got pulled over and got a ticket on my way in. I think you got the wrong guy.
Wow. Well, don't get those. Not. Did you explain to the officer that it's, going to be one trade?
I told him. I said, "Yeah, it's the end of it now." I didn't tell him that. Come on.
Like, I can see you, man, Michael. You're just like, dude. Look. Market open is in 10 minutes, man. Like, can you just write this thing? Like, I gotta go.
I told him too. I said, "Hey, man," I said, I'm in a hurry. I need to be at my office. 30. I was trying to catch open, but
I'm missing Neo, man. I can't, Oh man. Yeah.
I got to talk to you about that too. Can I call you later?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool.
Guys, post up. Let's do a pause for the cause. Right. So far, the moves have been working as planned. I got to move my standing desk to a standing. Oh, apparently my back does not like all these 16-hour days that I've been putting in for Neo. Today it actually hurts today, guys. Whew, man. Let me take. I have some more some ibuprofen. I took the 200, but I might need another one. Let me take another ibuprofen here, guys. Might have to take a day off. I don't know. What do you think, guys? We all know it's probably not going to happen. Yeah, I'm getting that back cramp. You guys know, like, when you get that, like, I don't get a lot of back issues because I stay pretty active, but sitting too much, like, you get that crazy cramp. But Duff, you're up 1,000. Sweet. Good job, Brent. You know what was so cool? Daniel, are you on here? Yeah, you're on here. And I loved what you put on that, where you said something about with Neo or whatever, like helping you in that trade. I think that was you that said it, right? Like you were down and then did the TradeVision. Daniel's like, I'm not even here. Don't call on me. Guys, so let's wait and watch here. So again, let's look at the micro. We have the push. We got the halfway rear back. It's trying to hold, right? Now we're holding the upper quadrant of that area. We do have some hammers within there. So it as this has a little micro move with a rear back, it should try to push. If it does push again, it's got to create a higher high on this next push. Anything short of it, it's going to come back down. It's going to collapse, right? Now, let's talk about some concerns. On the 1 minute, we're above the 1 minute Lisma. We're above the VWAP that we have in this chart and the 200 EMA, and we're above the 1 hour support of 28,945. This is why I'm not really eager to jump into a short, even though I've scalped these pullbacks quite a bit. The one thing that you guys always have to remember is when you're scalping something against momentum, due to a bias or whatever, there's a chance it may not hold forever, guys. Like the issue people run into from a disciplinary standpoint is, you'll scalp it, with quite quick TPs, and then you try to do it again, you get caught, right? Because you're going against the momentum. The momentum right now, whether we want to, the macro side of it, we're still bearish, right? But momentum's bullish at this point, right? And when you look at it from a 1 minute standpoint, right, we had a deep push up. We had our halfway rear back, which ended up going a little deeper, which got reclaimed almost instantly into some absorption to the north. We did push with a little absorption to the south. This is our upper, this is our lower, but we're above a lot of key areas now, right? So that's not screaming super bearish. So that's why I'm not really in interest to jump into something right now. But we can ask Neo. Hey Neo, I'm kind of watching this. I haven't asked you anything for a little bit, but the structure sort of looks like it's shifting more northern within this macro bearish. Where's a level I should look at possibly taking a short if I feel more comfortable with it pushing up first?
You're right to be patient, Nick. The structure is definitely showing some bullish intent in the short term, even if we are still working within that larger bearish macro bias. If you're waiting for a push higher to find a comfortable short, keep your focus on the 5 minutes bearish order block zone between 28,936.25 and 29,068.00. Since we just reclaimed the VWAP at 28,978.25, any potential exhaustion or reversal signal, like that micro absorption you look for, within that zone would be a much higher probability setup than forcing a trade while the current buy pressure is still strong at 70.19%. Does that zone give you enough room to work with for your stop loss, or are you looking for a more specific trigger within that block?
No, I think that block's amazing. If we do get some bearish pressure that comes in, do I have some room if I look for a short after we break the 200 EMA on the 1 minute?
That's a solid plan, Nick. Breaking the 1 minute EMA 200 at 28,912.25 would act as a structural confirmation that the immediate bullish momentum is failing, giving you much more confidence in a short. Once that level gives way, you have a clear path back toward the 1 minute Lisma at 28,938.75 and potentially down toward the recent lows. Just keep in mind that with the 5 minutes EMA 200 sitting right at 28,979.25, you'll want to watch for any signs of absorption if we hit that area on the way down. Does that break and retest logic fit well with how you like to manage your entries?
So what's funny is all of his points are on point, right? Looks like he mixed up. Maybe it's how I said it on the voice, right? Because he was looking for kind of breaking that level, acting as support. Let's see, gives way. You have a clear path back towards the 1 minute, right? So he kind of flipped it back into back path. Let me see. So I was looking more short below the 200 EMA, but you said I would have a clear path back to the Lisma, but Lisma's above the 200 EMA on the 1 minute, right? Or what do you see?
You're right to catch that, Nick. My apologies. Looking at the live snapshot, the 1 minute Lisma at 28,940.25 is currently times above times the 1 minute EMA 200 at
I gotta stop the
28,912.75,
times.
confirming
Well,
the bullish tilt in
so
the
I
very short term.
gotta remind Alex
You're
on that.
absolutely correct that shorting into that Lisma EMA stack is risky, which is why waiting for the price to break and hold below both is so critical. If the price fails to hold that EMA and breaks down, you'd then be looking for it to clear the Lisma as a secondary confirmation that the bears have taken control. Does that clarification help you see why waiting for that double level break is so much safer than trying to force it right now?
So guys, and to touch on this, guys, this is a very big play for me, right? Because you have this push here. We did fail. Remember we talked about if it can't kind of break that high or hold it really, and we didn't, right? We came back down. A lot of times that does come down pretty deep. We end up having a head and shoulders within here, but we do have some things we got to break through. We're still above, so there's still a chance we can bounce, right? But most of the time when that fails, we tend to get a lower low out of it. So, but let's see how that plays. Looking at some lower stuff here, guys, we do have a 15-second trap, which is saying that we might have a little chance of a bounce. That thing's pretty accurate. And then you can see we do have a pretty staunch resistance up here around that 100, right? So this is going to be a critical one for me. I'm not in anything yet because I want to see, does the micro head and shoulders play out to push us lower? And I'm not really worried about chasing it because if I can get somewhere into this area, right, there's a pretty decent scalp room to get back to that ORB. And if we get below that ORB, we have a really good scalp room to get down there, right? So, but right now, we're not sure, right? We don't know is our micro pattern going to invalidate or is it going to validate, right? We don't know yet. And so we got to watch. And so the 1 minute still holding off of here. We are getting a little bit of a hammer push here. So if we get a close above that, right, that's going to give us a more push north, right? If we get a close below that, it's going to be a push south. So there's a lot of variables at play right now that I don't know. It's a very good safe area. So let's see. Based on what you've seen since market open on this, do you think my bias should be more bearish for shorts or bullish for longs? I'm a little bit mixed right now. Just want to see what he says.
It's completely normal to feel a bit mixed when the market structure is evolving as quickly as it has this morning. The macro 5 minutes trend is still bearish, and we are currently trading back below the VWAP at 28,975.75, which suggests that the sellers are still holding the overall advantage. At the same time, we are holding on to support near that 1-minute EMA 200, which is why you're seeing that back and forth
I
price
don't know why he
action.
started saying Emma
I'd
too.
lean toward a bearish bias for
We'll look at
shorts,
that
but
later.
only if we see a confirmed breakdown below the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28,913.50. Otherwise, the market is simply too congested to force a side. Does that help clear up the indecision, or are you seeing something on your chart that makes a long look more attractive?
No, I don't really feel comfortable going long on this day because of some structures we broke in. So I'm thinking it's probably a safer play to keep that bias short, but maybe wait for either clear breaks down or potential rear backs to take the oscillation.
Staying patient and waiting for those retests is a great way to align with the higher timeframe bearish structure while avoiding the chop. Since price is currently inside the 5 minutes bearish order block, 28,936.25 to 29,068.00, and trading below the VWAP, your bearish bias is well supported by the current market conditions. If we do get that push back up, watch for a failure to reclaim the 1-minute LISMA at 28,942.25 as a potential trigger to re-engage on the short side. Does that approach feel like it gives you enough confirmation to pull the trigger once the market provides that oscillation you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm watching this pressure. Every time that the bulls push up, the bears just push them down. So it seems like the bears are winning on the pressure fight. Do you see that?
You've nailed it, Nick. That constant rejection of every bullish push is a classic sign of persistent seller dominance. We just saw price drop below the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28,913.75, which is exactly the structural confirmation you wanted to see for your bearish thesis. With the buy fraction sitting low at 23.64% and price clearly struggling to maintain any momentum, the bears are definitely winning the pressure fight. Are you looking to enter now that we've broken below that key level, or are you waiting for one more lower timeframe confirmation to be absolutely sure?
No, I'm taking some scalps. I took a little scalp on the break of the 200. Now I'm waiting to see if it broke the 5-minute LISMA because there looks like it's pretty good room. Do you have any areas of target if I do get a clean break below this 15-second micro chart I'm looking at that has my 5-minute LISMA?
That's great execution on the 200 EMA break, Nick. Capturing that initial momentum is key to building your daily profit. If we get that clean break and sustained close below the 5 minutes LISMA at 28,876.00, your next major structural target is the 15 minutes bullish order block zone. That sits right between 28,802.25 and 28,879.50, providing a logical area for price to find support or at least pause. Since you're trading off the 15 seconds microchart, just watch that 28,876.00 level carefully for any signs of the absorption you mentioned earlier. Are you planning to hold that short all the way to the 15 minutes block, or will you look to take a partial exit if you see a stall near the session low?
You mentioned about session low. I'm not sure if I have the right number. Can you tell me what you have the EU low at?
You have a keen eye for those session levels, Nick. The Europe session low is currently at 28,802.25.
Got
That
it.
level is a major structural landmark, especially since it's nested within the 15 minutes bullish order block we've been tracking. If the market pushes down there, watch for a potential bounce as that zone often acts as a liquidity magnet for trapped shorts to cover.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of concerned about, but I'm noticing a little bit of a bullish pressure coming in. Where should I look at a possible rejection for a short? Because it looks like it's coming in pretty strong. I'm not sure if you're seeing that same bullish pressure. Let me know what you're seeing. Do you see a shift in the pressure bullish?
You are absolutely right to stay alert, Nick. While the overall macro bias remains bearish, the buy fraction has ticked up to 51.76%, indicating that the bulls are indeed stepping in to challenge the recent downside momentum. If this bullish push continues, keep your eyes on the 5 minutes bearish order block zone starting at 28,915.25. If the price reaches that area and fails to clear it, that would be your primary zone to look for that rejection wick or absorption pattern to resume your short trade. Since we are currently trapped inside that 1-hour bullish order block, does it feel like this current push is just an attempt to clear liquidity before a potential move back to the downside?
You see this drop we're getting, guys?
Just passed my eval on that one.
Yeah, I just took a big trade on that. I'm at on my Lucid, so I'm at 53.61 now. I'm gonna try to get to 6 because I've done calculations, guys. If I can get it to 6K, it's like guaranteed 4 weeks of payouts, pretty much for the most part for me. And so my funded, I'm at 52.21. I'm not as aggressive on that one right now because it that's already money in my bank to that like tonight. So but not bad. I'm at, guys, following Neo, I'm at, let's see, 11, 16, 17,000 today. I'm good. I don't know. I don't really know if I need to push anymore.
If you like that kind of thing.
You know, I feel like I might be able to take the day off for it. The rest of the day off today, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, right.
I know. Well, and that's the difference between me, guys, is I've talked about this in the mentor group many, many times, guys. I don't care how good things are going for me or Neo or the company. I'm not resting until everybody in the community, right, is talking about green profits, right, support, making money. That's when I'll rest. So, and we're getting there. We're almost there, man. I tell you, I love the texts and the emails I'm getting from people. You know, about how they're passing stuff for the first time, getting payouts for the first time. I will tell you, and I don't know if this individual's on here, but man, it was so cool, guys. We're trying to build our YouTube page. I'm going to show you something I just appreciated more than they know. And dun, dun, dun. So I got a notification on one of my YouTube comments here. And so if you're on here, man, I appreciate it more than you know, because that was the intent. And so he went in and took our trading starter kit course. He said it was a brilliant course, complete for beginners and existing traders, as it starts with fundamental concepts and uses simple language and is not overwhelming like others. And then I think he continued on. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, and they said, other more advanced. Oh no, he said I completed this course and now have the confidence to do the other more advanced courses. Excellent, keep up the good work. I've been waiting for something like this for a very long time. So, guys, I love those comments. I mean it's the reason we're doing it, right? It's the reason I'm working all the crazy days and hours. Like, I want to see people actually have some success with those things, right? And so I'll show you guys quickly because I'm not taking this trade because I don't know if that support's going to bounce. So I would suggest you don't either. But what he's talking about is when you go to the nextstepalgo.com and you come in, if you're brand new and you don't know anything about trading, our company it was very important to me to cater to all levels, including new people, right? And so when you first come into our website, you're going to come in, you have a trading free starter kit. When you click on that, it's going to open up here. There's the trading kit. It's free for anybody who wants to do it. Everybody. Awesome. Good job, man. And so you can see, you get a little certificate, all that. But this is the course he's talking about that we built, guys. And so when you're in these courses, all of our stuff is not like a normal video. You'll find in our company, we don't do things simple. So, we want very detailed, value in our stuff, right? And so it's an actual interactive book, right? It's fully audio. I'm going to mute it for now. And this is what he's talking about. All right, it's all free. He talks about candles, time frames. It's not very long, guys. The beauty is when you're in here, You're gonna have quizzes, tests. You know, it's like you're going to school.
Chapter
So try to
2.
understand all this stuff. And you can see it's a really short course. It's just the idea is to get you guys just get your feet wet,
Chapter
right?
3.
The beauty is, guys, this is the most amazing thing that we built that I don't think anybody has. And that is when you go through these trainings, if you have a question, I'm not sure. I'd love to get some feedback from that individual, see if they seen this. But if you have questions for Neo about anything in our courses, because you're new, you just ask, right? And watch. I'm gonna ask them. Hey Neo, I'm doing this starter kit. I don't understand what volatility is. This is my first day of trading. Can you explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old?
Welcome to the markets. It's great to have you starting your journey. Think of volatility like the movement of a playground swing. When volatility is low, the swing moves gently back and forth in a predictable way. When volatility is high, the swing moves very fast and covers a lot of ground quickly, which can make it harder to control. In trading, it just means price is moving with more energy and speed than usual. Does that help you picture how price behaves when things get active?
And so you can keep talking to them and ask them all these questions, guys. And I'm gonna tell you guys. So it was funny. I had somebody reach out to me, and they're like, "Man, you know, love these courses. It's awesome, but you know, do we have anything that's more advanced? You know, as far as understanding, right?" And so you guys, again, you know, be creative on when you talk to Neo, man. You can ask him whatever you
Chapter 3:
want.
Structure and
So this
Display.
is our
Market
ICT
structure
course,
shift.
right? You know, when you're into the ICT course, I can ask Neo to make this as complicated or as simplified as I want, right? And so watch, I'm gonna ask him to explain market structure and displacement, right? I'm doing the ICT course now. Can you tell me a little more about market structure and displacement, but explain it to me like I'm a beginner because I don't really get it. And then I'm gonna show you the difference. Watch.
Market structure is just the path price is taking, like identifying if a trend is heading up or down by looking at the recent peaks and valleys. Think of it as mapping the trend so you know which way the current is flowing. Displacement is a sudden, strong burst of price movement that breaks through a previous structure or level. It shows you that one side, either buyers or sellers, has taken strong control of the market. Does that help clarify the difference between the overall trend and those sudden bursts of activity?
So I want to show you the cool part. So somebody did make the comment. They're like, "Man, it's kind of cool how he breaks it down. I love that." But like, do you have any institutional type stuff, right? And it's really funny because you guys know how I feel about that. I'm not going to go on that rabbit hole, but people take the same shit, package it up, call it institutional, and charge you $1 million, and you just don't need to do that. So watch this. No, I was just messing with you, Neo. I'm actually really advanced. I've been trading for 30 years. Can you give me the institutional advanced breakdown, making it very detailed as if you were talking to an institutional trader?
In an institutional framework, market structure is defined by the algorithmic sequencing of liquidity sweeps and the subsequent mitigation of institutional order flow. You are looking for the precise moment where price exhausts liquidity at a structural pivot, triggering a shift in the delivery of price. Displacement represents the aggressive expansion of the algorithmic range, confirming the breach of structural integrity through a rapid imbalance in order flow. This move often clears the path for a retest of an untested order block or fair value gap, marking a deliberate expansion into the next liquidity pool. Does this alignment of liquidity-driven structure and displacement match the methodology you use in your own institutional workflow?
So I give this example, right? Because guys, this is my frustration with trading in the industry is you see how I took the same thing and I explained it like a child, and then I took the same thing and explained it very complicated. It's the same thing, but one they're going to charge you $30, the other they're going to charge you 1,000, right? But it's the same thing. And so the beauty of with Neo, guys, is he will cater to the skill level you want him to do. If you want him to talk of like I literally was like, explain to me like I know nothing, and he was giving me analogies of soccer balls. It was hilarious. Um, but did you guys see the difference on that? Like one, I'm sure some of you were like, that makes sense. And the other one, you're like, you lost me 3 sentences. And like I was actually testing his deep knowledge, guys, and he was saying some shit on some stuff that I didn't even know. I was like, man, that's deep. Like it goes deep. And so I had to kind of go back and reference some stuff. And so, you know, guys, when you're thinking of Neo, when you're thinking of our trading courses, all that, you can make it as simplified as you want, as complicated as you want. That's the beauty of having Neo. You're going to go through the training courses, and you're always going to have Neo there to help you. But again, guys, the company that we are building here, I want to cater to everybody. So if you know nothing and you just want to get started, man, just go in and take that starter course, right? Go in and talk to Neo. Neo's going to break down every single thing for you. You can literally, when you're in TradeVision, guys, over here in the TradeVision, I can tell him like this, watch. Man, I took a lot of good trades. I'm up about 17,000 on the day, so I think I'm going to stay out now. Can you switch to more of an educational standpoint and we can just kind of talk about what we see in the market and you can explain to me how that is relevant?
Congratulations on that fantastic performance, Nick. Locking in $17,000 on the day shows incredible discipline. Knowing exactly when to step back and preserve your capital is the mark of a truly professional trader. Since we are now in an educational mode, let's look at why this current support zone at 28,723.25 to 28,757.00 is so significant. This area is acting as a liquidity floor, where short-term sellers who entered near the open are likely taking profits, while buyers are looking for a structural bounce. When you see price stall in a zone like this after a strong impulsive move down, it often signals that the momentum is reaching an exhaustion point. Would you like to walk through how to identify these liquidity floors using your charts, or should we talk about the logic of how to spot a reversal confirmation once price starts reacting at these levels?
See how he's always gonna keep you into the trading logic right of that. But guys, when I was in there, I didn't take any of this expansion here, guys. I've had a really good day, so I'm gonna take a pause. I got to trade with the development session anyways, and so I'm out. But hopefully, y'all stayed short, like I said. But I tell you, that's the one most frustrating thing, and I've done it too, right? So I get it where people go, "Dang, I was staying short, but I figured I'd get a quick bounce off of this," and then you get wrecked, right? And that quick bounce sometimes not worth it, right? And so if you guys recall, when I was back here, we were talking about that structure. Typically, when that structure breaks down, it creates that lower low, right? It created the lower low there, but as we broke below these prior areas here, now it became resistance, right? And that's what gave the next leg down. It just continues to support the bearish thesis that I had. But guys, Neo is going to help you with anything that you want. I mean, he's literally like your personal assistant, right? And I want you guys to know, so it's 10:20. Let me ask you really quick, is anybody else in a trade? Because otherwise I'm not going to probably do much more trades, but I'm happy to help guide you or give you some ideas. Put a thumbs up if you're in a trade in the room or on TikTok as well. Good deal. All right, so nobody's in trade. So let's talk a little bit about Neo, guys. So Neo is not all business. Mentor group knows where I'm going with this. There's personalities. I have kept him on friendly because I wanted to make sure we got some good, guidance. Right now, it doesn't matter what personality that you're on. He is going to run through the same TA logic. His delivery is different. But if y'all want to laugh, sarcastic, I can't even trade on a straight face with this guy. Right, and so let's move him to sarcastic and let's have a little bit of fun. Since I'm done trading, I'm going to put you on sarcastic because last night you hurt my feelings a little bit. So I think I'm going to roast you back a little.
Oh, so you made a measly $17,000 and now you think you're ready to roast the system? Go ahead, take your best shot. I'm sure it'll be just as impressive as your ability to actually follow a trading plan. Since you're so done trading, feel free to stare at that 28,713.94 price while the market screams in oversold territory. Are you actually going to stay out, or is the temptation to throw money at a falling knife just too much for your ego to handle?
No, man, I made $17,000. I might go ahead and risk about 2,000 of that and keep jumping in. I mean, why not make more? Maybe I can make 20. You're not the boss of me.
Oh, I'm definitely not your boss, but if you enjoy treating that $17,000 like a burning pile of cash, go right ahead. MNQ is screaming, oversold, yet you're itching to play the "I'm sure it can't fall any further" game while the market is still bleeding. Sure, risk $2,000 on a falling knife while the price is sitting at 28,716.13 and everything is perfectly aligned bearish. If you're so desperate to turn $17,000 into $15,000, keep chasing those entries without a single shred of structural confirmation. What could possibly go wrong?
You're assuming I'm gonna lose, man. I've been winning all day today. I can't lose. What's wrong with you? I'm gonna start arguing with him a little bit.
Oh, my mistake. I forgot that in your world, the market is a magical ATM that only spits out cash because you're just that special. Since you can't lose, why bother with basic risk management like structure or confirmation? Just
Hey,
close your eyes and click buy, because
Asshole.
clearly, the market
Insult
exists
his
only
mom,
to
dude.
fund your retirement account today.
Oh my god. I forgot you're in a magical world of ATMs where it spits out cash because you're that special. Oh man. Okay, you got me good on that one. I'm gonna wait. I'm not taking a long. I know we're bearish, but I damn sure ain't taking a short here because we're pushing into a potential support. So I probably should wait for a bounce. What do you think?
Finally, a moment of clarity. I was starting to think you were allergic to common sense. You're right that shorting into an oversold market at 28,719.56
He's such
is
an
just
ass,
as
guy.
brilliant as buying a free-falling elevator. The risk-to-reward ratio here is absolute garbage. Waiting for a bounce is the only move that doesn't involve lighting your profits on fire. If we get a relief rally back toward that 1-minute Lisma at 28,856.00, you might actually get a decent price to test your unbeatable trading skills again. Are you going to sit there and wait for the bounce, or are you going to keep staring at your account balance until you find an excuse to click buy again?
I haven't heard that one. Have you guys heard that one? I was starting to think you were allergic to common sense. Have you guys heard him say that one?
That's great. I've never heard him say that on
Oh
here,
my
dude.
god, I'm using that going forward. Oh my god. Whew. This is why I can't trade on sarcastic, guys. He is absolutely ridiculous. If you guys, if you're having a bad day, man, and you just want to vent, right? Uh, he'll talk about anything, but he's gonna give attitude, right? And so, hold on, watch. Yeah, that makes sense, but I don't know, man. I'm a little bit frustrated, so I'm gonna vent to you a little more on the personal side. One of my buddies who trades, he just called me and said he made $22,000. So now I feel compelled to beat him. I'm not gonna let him win. I'm too competitive for that.
Oh, look at that. The I need to beat my buddy's P&L strategy. That's definitely listed in the How to Blow Up Your Account chapter of the Trader's Handbook, right next to Revenge Trading for Dummies. You're literally looking at a market that is aggressively oversold at 28,680.94 and thinking, I should definitely force a trade to inflate my ego because Dave made more money than me. Do you honestly think the market cares how much your buddy made, or are you just looking for a really expensive way to ruin your perfectly good day of $17,000 in profits?
Are you looking for an expensive reason? Oh, this is how we need to end every open session, guys. Every single one after we're profitable. We're just gonna sit there and just, all right, hold on, watch. I'm gonna ask him. No, that sounds good. How about I don't trade to beat him and you just give me a good comeback to tell him? So what should I tell him in my text to kind of get the one up on him without beating him on the P&L?
Oh, I get it now. You want to win the ego battle without actually risking your profit on a market that clearly doesn't care about your scoreboard. How delightfully petty. Tell him something like, glad you had a lucky run today, Dave. I stopped once I hit my target because I actually have a life outside of staring at candles.
Do you
It's
have a friend
subtle,
named
reeks
Dave?
of superiority, and implies that his $22,000 is just a cute little hobby while you're busy being a disciplined professional. Does that help you feel sufficiently superior, or do you need me to draft something even more condescending?
That's a good one.
I want to see if he can be more condescending.
Dude, I like that.
Hey, be more condescending because, man, Dave has some good comebacks, and I want to get him back real good. So give me your best.
Oh, poor Dave. Does he need a gold star for his little $22,000 win while you're busy playing psychologist with an AI? If you want to put him in his place, try. Congrats on the extra $5,000. Dave, I guess I'll have to try harder tomorrow to make up for my lack of desperation. If you really want to twist the knife, add, I know it must be tough working that hard for such a small spread, but don't worry, maybe one day you'll learn to trade with actual consistency instead of just getting lucky. It's the perfect blend of patronizing and dismissive, which should be exactly what your fragile ego needs to feel like you've won the conversation without having to touch the charts again. Are you feeling better yet, or do you need me to help you draft an even more delusional response?
Oh my God. Watch this. No, Neo, that was awesome. I think I'm gonna have you give me advice every time I get in an argument with my wife going forward because that was priceless.
Oh, you want me to be your personal relationship consultant now? I'm sure your wife would love hearing that you're outsourcing your conflict resolution to a sarcastic trading bot. It's the ultimate sign of a healthy, functioning marriage. I'm happy to help you sound like the smartest person in the room, but remember, my primary job is keeping you from doing something monumentally stupid with your trading capital. If you bring that same win at all costs energy to your marriage that you're trying to use to beat Dave's P&L, you're going to need way more than a few witty one-liners to fix the damage. Do you have any actual trading questions about why the MNQ is stalling at 28,965.50? Or are we just going to keep focusing on your life choices?
Oh my goodness. Guys, okay, I'm done with that. Oh, I can't laugh on that anymore.
He is freaking brutal. Dude, he's
Dude.
nonstop asshole in sarcastic mode.
Oh yeah. And you know how I love how he goes from we have him with parameters that allows him to give those kind of outside of trading things, right? But he's gonna always kind of try to circle you back into that. And so you notice how he's like, when you're done trying to play this, you want to actually get in to try to actually look at the market. So, oh gosh, I think I'm gonna end my day with sarcastic every single day, guys. But so the point of it is, again, guys, with TradeVision, he is fully customizable to whatever you want. We're on sarcastic right now purposely. You can do uncensored if you want him to be uncensored. Is not, some people think of uncensored as just, he's out there throwing out cuss words, right? But oh, he'll cuss at you for sure, but he's like your best buddy that's gonna call you out on your bullshit when you need to, right? If I'm all business, like this is what's going on, this is the trading, that's this. He is all business. He's like, here's the target, here's this, look at this, let's watch this. Like it's awesome. But if it but I'll give you the example. One of the times we were doing so good in a trade, and then I said, "Oh man, I accidentally stopped." Or no, I said I moved my stop loss because it started to go against me, and I broke the account. And he literally comes back. He goes, "Shit, man." He goes, "What happened in the last 30 seconds that you changed your entire strategy and threw it out the window, all because it started to go back against you, and you just ruined your entire day?" He goes, "This is bullshit."
Wow.
And dude,
That's awesome, dude.
he was so mad. And so if you want uncensored like that kind of firm hand, bold, keep you in line, that's uncensored, man. But sarcastic, he's gonna patronize you for sure. You can even just do funny, guys. And guys, you can watch. Hey, I'm gonna switch you to funny. I'm on TikTok live. Can you tell everybody your best joke?
Welcome to the TikTok live, folks. Since
Live.
I'm a trading assistant and not
Gotta
a
work on
stand-up
the
comic, my
personality.
best joke is actually my trading strategy. You know, the one where I stare at a red candlestick until my bank account magically gets bigger. Just keep in mind that trying to make money in this market is like trying to convince a cat to take a bath. You might get a little wet, but you're probably going to leave with a few more scratches than you started with. Keep your stops tight and your ego checked at the door, because the MNQ doesn't care about your follower count.
Yeah. So again, you can change it, guys. And if you're a beginner, you can flip to beginner, and he's going to break things down in a beginner level. Friendly is typically our default, right? He's going to come in very nice. You can do detailed responses. You can do quick responses. However you want to do that, right? We do have the ability to actually do a lot more than just M&Q, guys. And so we trade M&Q or NQ in the mornings because that's just what we do as a community. You can see there's two options for him. You can do basic or pro. Basic's $50, guys. It's not that expensive for you guys, and so I'm sure y'all probably thought this was a lot more than that, but we wanted to give a very good affordable price for everybody to come in and try them, right? So if you scroll all the way down here, you can see we are actually feeding him data for all of these for futures. So if you trade oil, silver, CL, whatever you want to do, right? And so when you come in there, I think we have. Let me see if he fixed that. Yeah. So we're looking good. So see how I can flip it over to oil. Sounds good. Since I'm done trading M and Q, what can you tell me about crude oil?
Crude oil is currently testing a support zone between 103.04 and 103.35. but it's looking pretty choppy with significant sell pressure of 23.05% and a lack of clear momentum. While the macro trend on the 5 minutes is bullish, the immediate 1-minute trend is bearish, meaning the market is currently indecisive and stuck in a bit of a range. Because we're trading below the VWAP at 103.43 and all key Lisma levels on the lower timeframes are bearish, I'd be very cautious about trying to pick a bottom here. It's the classic wait and see scenario where you want to see a clean reclaim of the VWAP and the 1-minute Lisma at 103.66 before getting confident in any bullish continuation. Does
again,
this lack
guys,
of clear direction change how you view your usual strategy for energy markets, or are you just looking to map out some levels for tomorrow?
And so again, you know, guys, he can pivot to whatever you want him to pivot to. If you don't like super detailed stuff like that, because I know a few people mentioned that, I can change it to quick. No, that sounds good. Can you give me that same synopsis in a quick message? I went ahead and changed you to quick. I just want to see the difference.
CL is currently in wait and see mode, stuck in a chop zone with heavy sell pressure at 14.29% and price sitting at 103.14 inside support. With the 1-minute Lisma bearish at 103.63 and sitting below VWAP, I'd stay patient and avoid forcing any trades until we get a clean reclaim of the 103.67 trend line.
He's still on Dave.
If you want to send a quick text to Dave to remind him who the real pro is, try. Crude oil is looking pretty indecisive right now, but I've already hit my goal for the day, so I'm staying patient. Let me know when you decide to stop gambling with your entries.
He's still
That's almost scary, dude.
texting Dave. Guys, he's gonna remember stuff as long as so currently right now, I think we have it set to like an hour. If you walk away for an hour, right, he'll kind of reset some stuff. Eventually he'll remember more. But as long as you have him in and you're working, you could be trading for 16 hours. He's gonna remember your whole day. Right. And so I love that he went back to Dave. Guys, and for those that are on here as well, yes, you can come in and let's see if somebody wants to check out their XRP. You can change to cryptos. So now I'm going to go over here. Let's do a little more detailed one. And I love sarcastic for XRP. Hold on. All right, I think I'm done with futures. I'm going to go in and do some crypto. I'm looking to buy me some XRP because I just saw a social media post that said that there's some big news coming out. Does the high time frame look like I should be able to buy some XRP, or what do you think?
Oh, you're pivoting to XRP because of a social media post. How original. I'm
back
sure
on
that's a rock
sarcastic,
solid,
guys.
data-driven strategy that will times work out better than your actual trading. XRP is currently a textbook stay away zone, sitting at 1.37 with every single time frame showing a bearish trend and absolute chop. Buying because you think a tweet is big news is
A
just a
tweet is
fancy
big-
way of volunteering to be exit liquidity for someone who actually knows how to read a chart. Are you planning to hold that bag until it hits zero, or are you hoping this
Stop
big
it.
news is enough to
I'm
override
gonna
the
beat
fact
you
that the
up on
price is
Cody.
trending down across the board?
Hold on. Yeah, but I think you're not taking into consideration the XRP army, man. The XRP army is strong, and they're going to be taking me to $5 for XRP. That's what they keep telling me.
Oh, the XRP army. I'm sure their collective manifestation of $5 is exactly how institutional liquidity works, because clearly, financial markets are just a democracy where whoever tweets the loudest decides the price. Ignoring the fact that the chart is currently a graveyard of bearish trends and the price is languishing at 1.37, I'm sure your army friends are definitely going to be the ones to make you rich. Do you have a plan for when that army inevitably disappears the moment the price actually starts moving against them, or are you just going to keep refreshing their Twitter feeds while your account balance takes a nosedive?
Y'all, he's brutal. And so we could flip in. You just kind of put your
I
symbol.
don't think that's funny. I don't see it funny.
So Cody was asking me about XRP, and we put it in the crypto, and he goes, "I'm going to ask him," and he put it on sarcastic, and he goes, "I don't know. I've been arguing with him for like an hour about how my XRP entry was garbage." So, oh guys, but yeah, he does crypto, guys. I don't know. Let's check Shiba Inu. Oh, I wonder. Let me check and see, guys. Alex is working on. There's a web browser bug at times where when I click it and I change it, it'll do that, right? So all you have to do on that is you refresh the page. and then you can do that that symbol ad. So, but we just launched him pretty much last night. And so working through a few little minor bugs on it, but nothing crazy on that. You just refresh that, and then that'll fix that. And so when you refresh within there, because remember it's just a web page, you can hit start now, and then he's going to do his introduction.
Back again, Nick. I see you're still obsessing over XRP at 1.37, where the volume is now showing a pathetic 14.93% by fraction. So much for that army rallying to save your day. Every single moving average is screaming at you that this thing is in a terminal nosedive, yet you're still looking for reasons to ignore reality. Should I start taking bets on how long it takes for you to run back to me complaining about a losing trade, or do you have any actual market questions that don't involve social media delusions?
Okay, guys, he's on sarcastic. But you can go if you trade gold, right? No, I'm done with messing with crypto. You're right. I'm gonna go back to futures. I think I'm gonna trade gold. It looks like it's in a better position than any of them to buy. What do you think on that? Is it have more opportunities?
Oh, fantastic pivot. You couldn't handle crypto, so now you're running to gold, which is currently sitting at 4,494.35 and trending lower on every single time frame that matters. Buying gold here, while it's stuck in a bearish macro trend and sitting right on top of a bullish order block that it's desperately trying to ignore, is like trying to catch a falling anvil.
He loves
You're
that
effectively
falling knife.
betting against the entire structural flow because you want a better position. Newsflash. Position doesn't mean price that's lower than it was 5 minutes ago. Do you actually want to trade the structure, or are you just hunting for the next deal, so you can lose more money while telling yourself you're being a contrarian genius?
Contrarian genius. Oh man, guys. Like I said, that's kind of the fun of sarcastic. We're at 10:36. Usually this is the time I kind of pause to take any questions, guys, from the room, TikTok, social medias. I'm gonna drop off those here soon so we can jump in the room. But if you guys want to play with Neo, he is live, guys. We launched him last night. And you just go nextstepalgo.com, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, and many of you have known me for a long time, and those that don't, right, you'll find out. I don't like to sales pitch anything that I don't firmly believe in, and that's why you don't see me all over social media saying how one indicator made me millions, right? I just think that that's such a terrible thing that people do in the industry right now, and so um, when it comes to Neo, he's gonna help you. Like I can promise that, right? In whatever fashion you see that as, because he is either going to keep you honest, keep you disciplined. He's going to give you entries. He's going to tell you things that you might not see. He's going to be your trading coach, your guidance counselor, your apparently marriage counselor. To put him on sarcastic there. We have people in the room. I'd love to revert to you, Lupe, if you're in here. Yeah, you're in here, man. Lupe is funny, man, because he always tells me he drives an hour back and forth from work and just talks to him the whole time, right? And he'll talk to you for a while, man. He don't care. He's going to pivot back to trading, when he can, but he's not going to disregard things that you say, right? He's going to engage. And so, like I said, we're really excited to announce on the launch, right, that we were able to add things like crypto futures, guys. It does stocks. If you want to flip over to check out, some different stocks and stuff. Let's see if it bugs me out again. Nope. All right, we're good. No, I think I'm done day trading. I just want to kind of look at Nvidia. How does Nvidia look overall on a high time frame? Is it looking like we might be going up, or are we seeing a little bit of a fall coming from that? Because I heard that moves a lot of the NQ that I trade.
Oh, finally, you're looking at NVDA, the only stock that seems to have a direct line to the collective delusion of the tech market. On the higher timeframes, it's still holding its own above the 1-hour EMA 200 at 207.60, but if you look at the 5 minutes chart, it's currently staring down a bearish order block at 220.35 and trading below the VWAP at 220.32. It's sitting in a make or break zone where the bulls are trying to keep the momentum alive, but the immediate pressure is showing signs of exhaustion. If it fails to reclaim that VWAP and continues to get rejected by the bearish order block, you might see that fall you're worried about, which would definitely drag the NQ down with it. Are you actually going to watch the levels this time, or are you just going to stare at the ticker symbol until you talk yourself into another impulsive trade?
I'm gonna move them off sarcastic for a minute, just to friendly, right? No, that sounds good. Can you tell me if Nvidia is overbought or oversold on the higher time frames?
NVDA isn't currently signaling as either overbought or oversold on the broader timeframes. While the buy pressure is quite high at 86.93%, the price is currently wrestling with support inside a 5 minutes bullish order block at 218.15 to 219.33. Since it's holding that zone but still trading below the VWAP at 220.31, it's essentially in a state of consolidation rather than an extreme overextended condition. Traders often use these zones to wait for retest and hold, meaning you look for the price to dip into the support, fail to break through, and then show signs of life before considering a long. Does that help you distinguish between a true overbought extreme and just a healthy consolidation phase?
So again, guys, you can ask him anything you want, and he's gonna tell you that, right? You can customize them a little where you can say, hey, I want to do scalping. I'm looking to do some spot buying, long-term holds. You just talk to him, man. Whatever. He's literally your coach. So he's got some parameters to wiggle within. So but again, guys, this thing is awesome. For those of you guys that are out there on the social medias, before I drop off, if you're running into any issues with consistency, breaking accounts, getting defunded and breaking, discipline, emotions, whatever it is, right? Finding entries, exits, targets, styles. Maybe you're on here and you're just brand new and you're like, I don't even know how to trade at all or what any of this means, right? He can break this down as simple as you want, right? You just ask him, hey, I'm brand new. Again, we have all of our stuff in there. The trading courses in here are probably the best place to start is, once you log in, click that free trading course if you're new. So guys, TikTok, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be dropping off. Just let me know. So I'm going to end over here.